Hello, today our topic is about the AWS cloud computing. The word AWS stands for the Amazon Web Services. It is one of the cloud platform which provides the cloud computing services and the resources. Firstly, let's start with the introduction to the AWS cloud computing. Cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of IT resources like the compute, storage, database, networking, etc. over the internet with a pay-as-you-go pricing model. Instead of buying, owning, and maintaining physical data centers and servers, organizations can access the technology services on as needed basis from a cloud provider like Amazon Web Services. The Amazon Web Services AWS is one of the famous and mostly used worldwide cloud platform which provides the cloud services and the resources as which I said before. So why AWS? You might be having why this AWS? As there are still many more cloud platforms like the IBM Cloud, Microsoft Azure, GCP, many more. So firstly, let's learn why AWS. AWS was launched in the year 2006 and has grown to become the world's most comprehensive and broadly adopted cloud platform. It offers over 200 fully featured services from data centers globally, enabling millions of customers, including the fast-growing startups, largest enterprises, and leading government agencies, to lower cost, become more agile, and innovate faster. See why it is means it is having a lot of data centers and databases. See, the data is often stored in the database. It might be of any form. As data is in today's world, the data is considered to be the money. If your money is lost, we think that it is something has been lost. Whereas data is also the same. The data may be having the many kind of photos or files. The files may be any kind of text, also some kind of movies, some kind of documents. The documents may be for the educational purpose or any kind of agreements and many more. That's why we are saying that data is considered to be as the money or something property or still something which is very valuable. So the core advantages of the cloud computing. The trade capital expense for variable expense. It is pay only for what you consume instead of investing heavily in data centers before knowing how you will use them. Next one, benefit from massive economies of scale. Lower variable costs achieved through aggregation of hundreds of thousands of customers. Stop guessing capacity. Elimination infrastructure capacity planning errors scale up or down effortlessly. Increase speed and agility. New IT resources are just a click away, reducing developers' infrastructure provisioning time from weeks to minutes. Stop spending money running data centers, focusing on businesses projects rather than the heavy lifting of racking, stacking, and powering servers. Go global in minutes. Deploy applications in multiple locations worldwide with just a few clicks. See why we are saying that cloud computing is important. If a person or an organization is maintaining the physical servers, they have to appoint the developers or the working professionals for the taking care of that particular database or the data center or that server. The server can be said as even a computer also. So that organization or that people have to assign the working professionals for taking care of that servers and all those things. If there is an increase of that server or the capacity, they need to again go down and they need to again get that, they need to purchase that particular server, that particular capacity with that particular kind of the RAM, with that particular kind of configuration and that storage space and all the things. When it coming to the cloud computing, there is no use of all this. Just if we send an email, just if we click a small button while creating of that particular account in that particular cloud platform like the AWS, Microsoft Azure, IBM Smart Cloud, and many more there are, If we just click a particular thing when we are creating of that account, then only they'll automatically scale up and down that servers or the specific kind of services. Also, the billing is done for only what we are using services or resources. The next topic is the services provided by the AWS cloud. The AWS cloud provides many kind of the services. AWS categorizes its massive ecosystem into specialized services designed to satisfy almost any computational workload. Here are the core services domains. The compute services. These provides the raw processing power to run your applications, batch jobs, and microservices. Amazon EC2. It stands for the Elastic Compute Cloud. These provides the virtual servers in the cloud that give you full administrative control. AWS Lambda. These are the serverless compute service that runs your code in response to events and automatically manages the underlying compute resources. Amazon ECS or EKS. It is highly secure and reliable container management services for Docker and Kubernetes. See, the Docker and Kubernetes is one of the essential things. If a person learns and adapts that, he can get many jobs on the Docker and Kubernetes. We can say it as .NET Kubernetes. It is one kind of course. If a person want to learn or prepare by that, they can get a job easily on the Docker and Kubernetes. Next, there comes the storage services. These are the reliable, scalable, and secure locations to store your application data, media files, and backups. Amazon S3, Amazon EBS, Amazon EFS. Amazon S3, it stands for the Simple Storage Service. Amazon Simple Storage Service. An object store built to store and retrieve any moment, any amount of data from anywhere. Amazon EBS, it stands for the Elastic Block Storage. Highly performance block storage blocks and designed for use with Amazon EC2. Amazon EFS. Amazon EFS. It stands for the Elastic File System. Simple serverless set and forget. Simple serverless set and forget Elastic File System for use with AWS cloud services and on-premises resources. The database services. As with the data is stored in the database. It is fully managed, purpose-built databases optimized for performance and the cost. Amazon RDS. It stands for the Relational Database Service. It is managed relational database supporting the MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle, SQL Server, etc. Amazon DynamoDB. It stands for the database. DynamoDB. A key value and document NoSQL database that delivers single-digit millisecond performance at any scale. The resources provided by the AWS cloud are there are certain resources which are provided by the AWS cloud. To ensure the global availability, high fault tolerance, and low latency, AWS structures its global infrastructure around three critical architecture resources. Here is a table which I have provided you. It is containing the infrastructure resource, the description about that particular resource. AWS regions. AWS regions. Physical location around the world where AWS clusters data centers. Each region is a separate geographic area designed to be completely isolated from other regions for maximum fault tolerance and stability. Example, US East 1. There is also Southwest India, Northeast India, and many more. Availability zones. One or more discrete data centers with redundant power, networking, and connectivity in an AWS region. All AZs. AZs stands for the availability zones. We will say it as, normally it is AZ, but we will say it as AJs. In an AWS region are interconnected with highly bandwidth, low latency networking over fully redundant dedicated metro fiber. Next, there comes the edge locations. These are the points of presence, POP, located in major cities globally. They are used by Amazon CloudFront content delivery network to cache data and media closure to the end user to reduce the latency. Next, there comes a clear explanation on the pay-as-you-go. See, we are saying that the pay-as-you-go is a kind of cloud platform. The cloud platform often gives us the pay-as-you-go pricing model. That means we have to pay for only what we are using, the services or the resources which we are using. The pay-as-you-go pricing philosophy allows you to adapt easily to changing business needs without overcommitting budgets. It can be compared directly to traditional utility services like electricity or water bills. See, in our daily households, we will be using the electricity. The electricity bill will be coming based upon the units how much you have consumed. See, for the farmers, there is the subsidy that this much amounts of the units is free for them. When it comes to the normal households for the electricity, they will be getting the electricity bill for every month based upon the units which they have consumed, and they will be getting that bill like 500, 300, 520,000 rupees, 750, and like many more. Likewise, the same it happens in the pay as you go. What amount of resources or services which we are using, for that only the bill is done, the billing is done. See, here's a small utility metaphor. Please note down this one. In your home, when you turn on a light bulb, you start consuming the electricity. When you switch it off, the consumption stops immediately. Your bill at the end of the month exactly for the kilowatt hours, kWh, consumed. AWS works exactly the same way. If you provision an EC2 server for 3 hours and 20 minutes to process data, you only pay for that exact duration. Once you terminate it, billing ceases completely. The key characteristics are no upfront investment. There is no long-term contracts or massive fiscal capital expenses are required. Granular billing. It means the most services are billed per second or per hour of utilization. The volume discounts. As your usage grows, AWS automatically lowers the per unit cost for services like S3 storage and data transfer. The pricing models of AWS Cloud. AWS offers flexible pricing options across its portfolio to help optimize costs for varying workloads. The first one, on demand. It is a pay for compute or storage capacity by the second or hour with absolute flexibility and no long-term commitment, best for short-term unpredictable workloads. Savings plan or reserved instance. It commit to a consistent amount of usage measured in dollars per hour for a 1 or 3-year period in exchange for massive discounts up to 72% compared to on-demand prices. Top instances. It takes advantage of unused AWS compute capacity at steep discounts up to 90% of on-demand pricing. However, AWS can reclaim these instances with a 2-minute warning if they need the capacity back. Tiered pricing. Services like Amazon S3, it stands for the Simple Storage Service, offer volume-based tiering where the price per GB decreased as the total volume of stored data increases. The next one is about the introduction to the S3, which stands for the Simple Storage Service. Amazon S3 is an object storage service offering industry-leading scalability, data availability, security, and performance. Unlike traditional file storage, which organizes the files in a folder hierarchy, or block storage, which treats data as a raw sectors, S3 treats everything as an object. Amazon S3, the key components inside the S3 are the buckets. A bucket is a container for objects stored in S3. Every bucket must have a globally unique name across all AWS accounts. See, we said that AWS is one of the widely and famous cloud platform which is being used in today's competitive world. Likewise, in every region there will be some name, but that particular bucket name should be distinct from all the regions, and the ages should not be same in any of the age, in any of the data center, in any of the region. It should be distinct from all. Next one, the objects. The fundamental entities stored in the S3. An object consists of object data, the file itself, and metadata. That means the descriptive key value pairs like content type, creation date, etc. Next one, the keys. The unique identifier for an object within a bucket. For instance, in a bucket named my bucket, an object with key images or photos .png uniquely specifies that file .png, .jpg. Still there are many more. Next one, there comes the features of the S3. The extreme durability, storage classes. Extreme durability is 11.9, that means 99.99999% durability. by automatically replicating objects across a minimum of 3 physically separated availability zones within an AWS region. Storage classes. S3 offers multiple classes tailored to your compliance and cost constraints. S3 standard for frequently accessed data. S3 intelligent tiering. It automatically optimizes costs by moving data between frequent and infrequent tiers based on access patterns. S3 standard infrequent access. IA. Lower storage cost but retrieval fees apply. Best for long-lived, less active data. Amazon S3 Glacier. Low cost archival storage classes ranging from minutes to hours. Retrieval times. Security and access control. Robust access management using IAM, Identity and Access Management policies. S3 bucket policies, access control lists, ACLs, and default encryptions. Access control lists, ACLs. Next one is static web hosting. You can configure an S3 bucket to host a high performance, low cost static website without provisioning any servers. Next one is about the introduction about the EC2, which stands for the Elastic Compute Cloud. Amazon EC2 provides resizable compute capacity in a cloud. It allows the users to launch virtual servers known as EC2 instances, pre-configured with operating system, Amazon Linux, Ubuntu, Windows, etc. Also, we can say it as the iOS. It is one of the OS. And software applications through Amazon Machine Images, AMIs. See, here's a small table which showing the EC2 architecture visual guide. First one, the user request. Second step, the Amazon Management Console. Third step, provision instance for the AMI plus instance type plus EBS volume. The last one is the live virtual server. EC2 gives you absolute root or administrator access, allowing you to configure networking, security groups, firewall, storage attachments, and software packages, and precisely as you would on a physical machine in your office. Next, here comes the pricing models of EC2. The EC2 offers 4 primary pricing pillars tailored to accommodate various organizational risks, levels, and budget tolerance. As per the user requirement, the user can take that particular pricing model. Here we have given a table which states the pricing model, commitment required, cost profile, and the ideal use case. The first one, on demand. It is none billed as per the second hour. Highest standard rate. Short-term unpredictable workloads or testing device cycles. Second one, reserved instances or saving plans. It is for 1 or 3 year commitment. Up to 72% discount is provided. Applications with steady state, highly predictable usage patterns. The third one, spot instances. It is none that can be terminated by AWS. There is up to 90% discount. Batch processing, data analysis, or fault tolerant workloads. The last one, dedicated hosts. These are on demand or reservation. The premium expensive pricing. Strict regulatory compliance or bring your own license, BYOL software. These are the contents and the topics which are said by us in our today's class about the AWS. Also, I want to give a small note about the examination point of view and the Viva questions which will be often asked. The Viva questions are what is S3 and the features of S3? What are the advantages of S3? State EC2, state full form of EC2, state full form of EBS, state full form of S3. What are the advantages of EC2? How to launch an EC2? How to launch a server in EC2? What are the pricing models of EC2? What are the ages at present year? How many regions are there in Amazon AWS? What is a data center? What is a database? What is a server? 1 GB is equals to how many MB? How much amount of storage does a bucket holds? What is an object? What is a bucket in AWS? These are the frequent Viva questions which will be asked in the Viva for the AWS. And the frequent examination questions for the examination point of view, for the 5 marks, they often ask the features of the AWS and the S3 AWS S3 and EC2. For 10 marks, they will be asking the pricing models of EC2, advantages of cloud computing, features and characteristics of cloud computing. These are the frequent questions which will be often asked in the examination point of view. Okay, thank you. That's all for today.